Yes, that's correct. So we shifted it because we're not seeing any kind of manageable or any tangible improvements in terms of property pre-sales right now. And obviously, the sector continues to be, and the entire economy continues to be affected by what's happening on the COVID measures. So that's really a reason why we increase our default rate assumption. Now, what is important to note, though, is that if you look at stresses in terms of the credit issues around China high yield and around China credit more broadly, it really is very much compartmentalized within the property sector. So what we do say is that A, there are stresses, and that's why we are increasing our property default risk forecast. But B, we're not seeing any kind of spillover to the broader economy. And so we don't think this is one that should be concerning in terms of systemic risk or broader credit issues, but just need to be careful within the property sector.
Okay, which is why you're saying go for best quality in terms of the developers who are throwing out offshore paper, especially, plus extend duration. I mean, this is something we're not used to hearing, right? In the past, it was, okay, Chinese high yield, great, but keep your duration as short as possible.
So we do, in terms of a broader overall kind of Asia credit market view, we do prefer the shorter end. So we do think that from a broader perspective, it does make sense to continue to be in the shorter end, given that spreads have widened out and also yields have gone out, and you have a relatively flat credit curve as well. But what we are also saying is that there are pockets where it does look quite cheap to extend a little bit in terms of duration. So we've highlighted some of the single A names in China, some of the technology sector around the 10-year part of the curve looks cheap. And the second part that we've highlighted is the better quality China property companies, where, again, if you look at the longer part of the curve, prices have come down quite a lot. So that is, we think, on a relative value basis, quite attractive. And so we think, selectively, investors should look to some areas to add a bit of duration, but overall, keep it still mostly in the front end.